Hi everyone.
Hi guys.
Lovely to see you. Dan and I have just had some lunch and we've had a glass of wine and we've discussed perfume and the world. And now we're here to share with you
our thoughts,
our findings. What can I say?
So we
have something exciting today, don't we, in the Art and Olfaction.
We are continuing
finalists
to explore the Art and Olfaction 2023.
Time has passed, hasn't
award finalists. So here we are with the house of, or the brand of Blackcliff,
Blackcliff.
How do I say a brand from Barbados, a Barbadosian. What is it?
Barbadosian
brand.
Is it? I don't know.
Maybe.
Barbadian.
Mammalian.
I don't know.
We should have checked that before we started. Flamingo is the fragrance, the name of the fragrance. So we were very kindly sent these samples by Blackcliff. Thank you very much. And they're quite expensive. They're $245 for a 100ml X-ray.
That is a lot. But then again, it's an X-ray and it's 100ml, which is good. So
you would hope it would last.
It's not crazy, but it's not a cheapie.
Yeah, they're quite cool bottles actually. You can see.
I do appreciate a cool bottle now.
You can see the kind of artwork on the sample set that they sent us.
I do like that. And check out the top, the little sort of gold thing.
It's pretty cool.
It's nice.
So it's inspired by. They are inspired by the local landscape. Presumably there are flamingos in Barbados?
I didn't think there were.
I'm not sure. But
we'll look it up.
But here we are.
And if there aren't, there should be. And next time any of us go, we'll take
Maybe
them.
We could introduce them.
We'll introduce them to the region.
So this is Flamingo.
I'm excited to try this.
I have worn this fragrance a few times on skins, where you can talk a little bit about the dry down and the wearing on skin experience. Joe has not smelled it at all before. He doesn't know the notes list. So you're going to get his first impressions. There are lots of bells in the background.
First instinct I get is a sort of like ISO-y super pepper, white pepper.
Yeah, I get definitely a pink pepper, and if you've seen our channel before,
oh yeah,
pink pepper is just one of my notes which I occasionally struggle with, and when I get a pink pepper fruity opening, my initial reaction is, oh god, not another one.
Yeah, I struggle with pink pepper as well, and I think I don't know quite how I would describe these two things, but I find pink pepper sometimes to me, it's like it sort of shouts a bit loudly that I'm something a bit interesting and a bit edgy on top of a perfume, in the same way that truffle oil is now quite in.
Yeah.
And you drizzle it, but actually it can be quite a blinding thing, and it's like a trick to smell more interesting than it is. I don't know about this. I'm not judging this as well. I'm just saying normally I'm not a pink pepper. I'm not saying I'm not a fan of this.
I'm 100% with you. I would say that was definitely my first reaction. I do actually think
already better.
Especially on skin, there was a bit more depth to this pink pepper opening than I expected. Or than I was used to. I mean, as I said, whenever I get pink pepper opening, I think I've smelled that before. There's a little bit more depth to it, and the other type of fragrance which I struggle with sometimes is a fragrance which has a fruity accord top note, and this has the combination of pink pepper and fruity accord. So
it's a challenge for you.
Yeah, it is a challenge for me. And as soon after the pink pepper opening, you start to get this kind of slightly sharp, slightly rhubarby.
Yeah, I can see what you mean with the rhubarby.
And I guess perhaps
if you're green,
if you're
sort of vegetal green.
If you say flamingo, maybe you have to go pink, and you have to think pink pepper. Maybe I don't know. Maybe that's a kind of a reason for it.
But I've not smelled a flamingo for ages, so I don't know. It's been a while. It's sort of getting more interesting now. I mean, initially I have to say that my first thought was... And also I have to say, I'm always reminded with pink pepper of like a molten brown pink pepper shower gel I wore.
Yeah.
I found it quite cloying after a while and I stopped wearing it.
But there is more
So
depth.
I have, there is more here.
There is
going
more
on.
depth to it than you would think. And yeah, and I actually felt more on skin when I wore this on skin than card. I got more of the kind of fruity accord. Don't think you're quite getting that yet. And there was a successfully bright, effervescent, uplifting fruity accord, which didn't quite become sickly necessarily, but I still get this kind of, remember when we smelt styrolyl acetate, that kind of rhubarby, fruity accord. I still get that slight rhubarby.
Yeah, already for me though, everything is fading. Everything is fading.
And also,
I'm not feeling like I want to go further with the dry down, which is awful. But I just mean I'm not being grabbed.
It's difficult. I mean,
I need to try it on skin.
I agree. I tried it on skin, and this was definitely one for me. I struggle with, because pink pepper and these sharp fruity accords are things which I initially struggle with. They're not to my taste at all.
Yeah, me too. But you know what? For a minute there, I was feeling guilty. Like, are we being mean? We're not being mean. We're talking about stuff that we think and that we like, and you may love pink pepper, and this may rock your world. So this is just us talking about this.
Yeah.
It's nothing more than that. I'm kind of with you. Pink pepper is something that often throws me off, and big fruity things.
That said, I do. On the other hand, I do feel pink pepper and sharp fruity accords are something which have been done quite a lot.
Yeah. But already, I'm not getting much. I don't know whether my nose is just sort of tired, but
I found certainly on skin
sort of
for the first half an hour to 45 minutes, this was largely what you got.
Yeah.
The pink pepper started to recede, and as this pink pepper started to recede, the fruit came forwards. But the fruit on the whole was really quite sharp and edgy and rhubarby, styrolyl acetate for the first 30 to 45 minutes. But what was interesting, which I don't know if you will get on the card, was violet accords.
Okay.
Start to appear at about the 45 minute.
That could be interesting.
Well, I think that was interesting, and it started to mellow the sharpness and the brightness of pink. I mean, peppercorn had gone, but certainly the sharpness of the fruity accord. I mean, it's difficult. I mean, they list guava. I can't really get guava at all. All I can get is kind of sharpness.
Yeah, I mean, if there is guava there, it'll be in the mix in some way that's more subtle than I'm getting. Maybe it's probably contributing something in terms of the impression that we're getting, the general makeup of it.
Also,
but guava's a note I would find quite interesting if it was more sort of pronounced and clear.
I definitely I could not have picked up guava in a million years. I would have just said kind of rhubarby, sharp, kind of citrusy, vegetal accord.
It is getting more interesting. I sort of keep coming back and I'm finding stuff. I think on skin this would be quite a different experience.
I don't think it was. I don't think it's hugely huge experience. But what you're not going to get in the course of this video is where it went after half an hour to 45 minutes, where it went to this kind of slightly violety stage. And I never got. It never went kind of like violet leafy to that kind of like that green richness. It was much more towards a bluey, violety, irisy, ironone. Kind of place, which I really felt softened it, but I didn't feel this had a huge development beyond that. There was, I mean, the other notes. I mean, what does it list? Sandalwood, garlic wood, vetiver, ambrette. Basically, after I felt this edginess you get at the opening of this guava, this kind of edgy fruitiness, carried on for quite a long time, and as it started to soften out to wood, the whole thing just mellowed and started to fade away. And even though we had there's a slight violety stage, it never went. I never ended up in an oracey dry down, which would have been a welcome progression.
Yeah, something that just steered you in another way would be interesting. It's fine. I mean, it's perfectly nice. I like it.
Yeah,
I'm not excited by it personally.
I'm not excited by it.
I will try it on my skin and see what goes on, but
I don't know. I didn't find it hugely original. I find it. I mean, it's quite well. It's quite well composed. I found it lasted about 6 to 8 hours. So after about kind of 4 hours, it went close. I could smell it after 6, and between 6 and 8 hours, it started to disappear. But there was no point at which I got excited by it. No point at which I found anything hugely original.
I'm going to give it some more time because I just can't get enough from this spray. All I know is from this spray, I think it's really interesting and really nice, but it's not something that's exciting me. It's interesting in the terms of me being able to tolerate the pink pepper fruitiness.
Yeah,
so it intrigues me a little bit. But I feel like I'm going to stay intrigued and not be resolved.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll stay intrigued.
I can't judge for you. I would be personally. There was, I did enjoy the kind of violety stage.
Yeah.
The violety ROC stage, and that was the bit I enjoyed the most of it. But that was not hugely kind of. That didn't last for a huge amount of time. This mid section. I didn't enjoy the opening. Quite enjoyed the mid. The dry down was fairly dull, and there was no stage I thought it was hugely creative or original. That I don't think at any point I was really smelling anything I'd never smelt before.
Yeah.
I found it difficult to get excited about this one, and slightly difficult to understand why it was in the Art and Olfaction Awards. I mean, the pink pepper opening, I think, as pink pepper opening goes, it's a very good one. I mean, as you've probably gathered, we don't really like it. But it's definitely not a bad fragrance. It's just...
No, I think it has something to say.
I think it's well, I'm not sure that it does have anything to say. I think it's quite well executed, but I don't think it has anything hugely original to say.
No, but just in terms of saying this is what we do. This is a pink pepper, slightly incensey, bright, fruity thing. It's legible, at least. It's clear.
Yeah, it's legible. It's clear.
I think there's more to find.
It's a lot to spend. $245.
I mean, that is a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
They, I haven't actually tried it. They did send us some other samples of the rest of the range, but I haven't tried them. They do 10, I think they're about 10 fragrances, but they're all the same price. And as you said before, when I see a range and they're all the same price, I slightly worry because all the ingredients are different. So it feels like they're spreading the cost across the range.
Yeah.
Which means you're not getting what you pay for, which I don't really like.
Because not all perfumes can possibly be the same price and the same value in terms of what's going into them. I do like it when the prices reflect that.
Yeah.
A bit more. I do like it. I would, if I had a bottle of this, I would wear it and have a day with it and see. And I'll maybe try a drop of that on my skin later. But yeah, I'm not blown away.
Yes.
Sorry, but that's just.
But
we're not. This is not a review. This is us talking about a
perfume. We're just having a chat.
We're talking about stuff because it's what we enjoy doing. You take from it what you like, and you get some samples or try it for yourselves, and you may love it. It may rock your world.
Let us know if you think we're wrong.
Yeah.
Or you disagree with us. But until next time.
Bye.
Happy sniffing.